You get to be comfy, huh?
Yeah,
Or is it?
curled up on the couch.
You can throw a little bit more.
More, should I move the chair altogether, or let's
No,
bring it
no,
up?
no, just you. Thank you.
That cool?
Weird.
Okay, we're rolling.
Hi.
First of all, talk about not only how gorgeous you look in the movie, but how gorgeous you look now. And everyone's talking about how beautiful you look. Talk about this radiance you kind of exude, just kind of like at this time in your life. I mean, are you conscious of that when people are saying that, or are you trying extra hard?
No.
Beyond the fact that you're a beautiful woman, but.
No, that's strange. It's funny how, I don't know. Don't embarrass me.
Sorry.
Come on, another question.
Yeah, all right, talk about this movie. Going into this, beyond Baz Luhrmann and his genius, what is it about this woman that really made you want to bring her to life and be part of her and invest so much to bring her to life?
I liked the conflict that she has in terms of she's this woman that's trapped in this world and really is a survivor, you know, and she knows how she has to survive and she protects herself. She sort of doesn't allow people in, you know. She's a courtesan, she's a high-class prostitute. And so the one thing she's not allowed to do is she's not allowed to fall in love. And then this young man falls madly in love with her and says, believe in love, trust me, believe in me. I mean, that's just so romantic. And I loved that, the notion of that.
And I love stuff works so well with my fiance last night. I was crying during the movie and she was crying afterwards.
Good.
Because of that feeling of the love and the first time.
It's a terrible thing to say, but I'm glad she was crying.
But how deep did you have to go into yourself to make that love work and make the love scenes just so...
Well, I mean, Ewan and I knew that for the film to work, the love story had to work, and the love story between us had to be believable. And, you know, it's not even how you make it work. It just kind of happens or it doesn't happen. And luckily, it existed on screen, so you could, you know, have these beautiful scenes. But Baz helps with that, and I think somehow music helps with that. It kind of feeds it in a weird way. So rather than being frightened of the music and singing to each other and all of that stuff, we embrace that.
Talk about embracing music, because there's been different talk about who your inspirations were, if Madonna was an inspiration or who else. How much did she kind of figure into what you're doing and who else?
Lots of women. I mean, I studied all the old musical stars. I studied Rita Hayworth and Sid Charisse and Marilyn Monroe and, I mean, the greats. And Madonna, of course. I grew up with Madonna, watching Madonna, thinking how amazing she is. She represented to a whole generation of young girls, you know, you can do it. And you can be different, and you don't have to conform. And I mean, it was just great to get to play a role that's so diverse, because she's, you know, I mean, she sings, she dances, and yet there's comedy and there's tragedy and there's so many elements to the character. And that just doesn't happen very often.
Well, yeah, it seems like the ultimate in so many ways. When you're actually bringing her to life, is there a sense of this is everything I've ever wanted to do as an actress with the costumes? Like, you are Rita Hayworth, you are this actress, you're bringing all that kind of out at once. How much of that is something you've always kind of like...
I never thought about it before. When Baz put me in the situation of, okay, this is what you got to look like, and this is what we're trying to do, and this is what... you know, it was more just trying to always find the truth of the character Satine. I mean, also getting to play a character called Satine was I mean, the name itself is so beautiful, but it was, yeah, it was fun. And and Ewan and I both said when we finished the movie, we just went, we'll never get to do anything like this again, and we sort of hugged and cried, and, you know, there was an emotional attachment to this film, which I hope feeds into the movie.
The movie also deals with this whole show must go on attitude.
Yeah.
How much of that did you have to inhabit to get through what was, I know, a long and torturous shoot in so many ways? How much of that kind of...
No, it wasn't that. I mean, the shoot was joyful, because when you're doing something that the crew's excited about, people come to the set and go, oh, wow, this is extraordinary. I mean, you know you're working on something that's special, and it's when you're working on something that you're going, uh-oh, this is a turkey, that you really go, oh, that's hard to get through. When you're working on something that's getting a response and people are really excited to be working on it, that's when it makes it easier. But in terms of physical, just, you know, we were shooting 17 hours a day. We rehearsed for 4 months prior, then we shot for 6.5 months, and there was a lot to endure during that. That by the time we finished, we were all exhausted, physically exhausted, emotionally satisfied and physically exhausted.
How confident now, even though it's an incredible movie and you know how incredible it is, most of the world still hasn't seen this. Do you take on the pressure now of before it opens and what people are going to think after you've invested that exhaustion?
I mean, I think you just hope that it will find an audience, because it's like nothing you've ever seen before. But I believe that there is place for that. You know, people don't just want to see the same old thing. That they'll go and see a great popcorn movie, but they also want to see a movie where, and I think this is one of those. I mean, it harks back to the old movies, but it also brings in so many new elements as well, and it seems to kind of cross generations, which is exciting.
Mm-hmm. And people get to see you do everything. Is that exciting now as an expectation as an actress for audiences to know you can pretty much do it all as an actress, to see these different sides, you can see you sing and see you be tragic?
I don't think in terms of myself, I think in terms more of the movie. I mean, I think the movie as a story and as a whole works, and my kind of contribution to it is important, as is everybody else's. And I'm just so proud of it as a movie as a whole. I mean, for me, and I rarely say that. But I really love this film.
Mm-hmm. Talk about some of just the fun you had on it, because people talk about you hurt yourself and this and that.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the fun.
There were a lot of laughs. I mean, I remember one time my dad came to the set. He kind of came at about 11 o'clock at night, and he said, I just had. And I was shooting the scene where I happened to be on the trapeze, and the 600 men below kind of cheering, and Baz is yelling out over the microphone, unbridled lust to all these men who are the extras, and I'm swinging around above them at 40 miles an hour on this big trapeze, and I just thought, my dad just went, this is outrageous. So that sort of stuff was a common occurrence. I mean, we were doing outrageous things every day.
Mm-hmm. And doing the ingenue and playing the seductress and the courtesan, how much fun is that as an actress to bring those scenes to life specifically?
There were a lot of laughs. I mean, we had a lot of laughs. And when we would do the pitch scene where we're trying to pitch to the Duke, and then, you know, on top of a 60-foot elephant, I mean, it's kind of outrageous.
Mm-hmm. What do you hope on?
Rose petals falling from the sky while we're singing huge production numbers and tangoing and doing, I mean, we got to do it all.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, what do you hope audiences take away? If you can tell them one thing that they see it as a musical, they don't know it's a musical, this and that, what do you hope audiences take away from?
It's a movie about love, you know, and the belief in love, which is a great message.
Okay, Nicole, pleasure talking to you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. Enjoy your day. Good luck with everything.
Thanks.